It's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's our goal. Hey, it's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's also a show.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Breaking Bread with Tom Papa. I'm here with my good pal, Kira Soltanovich. It sounds like we're in church now. We've got a great show for you today. We're going to catch up on a whole bunch of stuff. We'd like to thank the good people at factormeals.com for sponsoring today's show. Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make eating better every day easy. Wherever tomorrow takes you, be ready with pre-prepared, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals delivered right...
Let me guess. To your door.
To your door. Head to factormeals.com/Papa50 and use code Papa50 to get 50% off. That's code Papa50 at factormeals.com/Papa50 to get 50% off. You know, 50%.
That's a lot.
That's like half off.
Yeah.
Right?
Just about around.
Thank you, Factor Meals. Good to see you, Kira. It's nice to be back.
I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. It really has been a long time.
It's been days.
I know. I feel like the podcast. Now, just to give you an update on the Trattoria, we have our big booth is kind of like the big linchpin. It's kind of the main thing that's coming into our new set. And we have so much stuff. We've got wine. We've got espresso machines. We've got beautiful artwork. We've got so much waiting, just around us, just waiting. And this booth is finally going to come in. Our restaurant booth is going to be installed. I would say, he said in about a week and a half, so I would think probably by July it'll be in. But it's very exciting. But I was thinking today, because we just had Brad Williams, and we've got David Cross coming up, and a whole bunch of guests. But then we get to do these, and I like these because it's kind of like, this is the family, and then once in a while you have people over.
Well, this is the catch-up.
Right.
We can't really catch up when there's a guest. It's about the guest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have people come over. You gotta make them feel good and do the things.
Be
and
good
then
hosts. Mm-hmm.
and then on the other days we get to entertain and just have dinner with the family.
That's what today is.
That's what today is. Do you hear a chipmunk?
There's always some little critter stuck in the floorboards of this place. There's always an animal getting strangled.
How cute are those dogs next door?
Those dogs are very sweet.
Oh, my God.
I do want to eat their faces.
I want to eat their faces, too.
Yeah.
One is a little, like, poodle-y thing.
Yeah, like a doodle mix. Sort of.
It's about the size of this wine bottle.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And normally I see those dogs and I'm like, yeah, that dog. I'm like, I think I could have 7 of these.
I love that dog because it has dark hair and then dark eyes. So you really can't see if it's a face or a butt. Like, what's coming at me? Because it's all just so hairy and curly and labradoodly, like.
And he's so happy.
And he's very sweet.
What was that other one? It was like a fox.
That other one was, that was like an Arctic wolf. Like a baby Arctic something.
Yeah.
Lives in the snow.
How's your espresso? We have new espresso here at Breaking Bread.
Yeah, it's very strong.
It is?
Yeah, I haven't had coffee yet today.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It's a little. Do you get grossed out easily? Are you going to be
You know
freaked
me.
out?
I love gross stories.
So I gave my 13-year-old some vitamins.
Ew.
But he's older now. So he takes, it's not like these kiddie vitamins that are just coated in sugar and the shape of a star. And there's just 100% just garbage. And then a little bit of zinc, It's like my 13-year-old now takes what I take. And they're sublingual. So you just put them under your tongue and they dissolve.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah. They work really fast. They go right into your bloodstream. Because
I have B12 that way.
Yes, I have my B12 that way. It's like all the little the little artery thing. Yeah, but it goes under
your face?
Yeah, and it absorbs right away.
Oh.
So the 8-year-old says, "Oh, I want some of those." And I didn't even think. And I go, "Here, that's fine." Gave her some zinc, vitamin D, vitamin C.
Yeah.
Get in the car. Let's go to school. The second we get in the car, I feel funny.
She didn't eat?
No, she had breakfast.
Uh-huh.
She had toast, apples, chicken sausages, full, great,
Yeah.
amazing breakfast, which ended up in my car.
No.
I don't know what happened. So just projectile.
Oh, no. As you're driving?
Yes, and I had just put my to-go coffee in my cup holder. We're driving to school, and that's when I sip it as we drive and we sing songs.
Oh, no.
And I immediately lost all interest in any kind of food or beverage. There's no way I'm going to drink.
Did it land in your cup?
No, but my 13-year-old lost his mind because he's in that teenage angst, like everything is, everything just bothers him. You say good morning wrong. He's like, oh, why did you say it like that? It's like, I can't even communicate with this kid. You met him just in December.
I know, but it's kind of like when you meet people, like everyone I know talks about their family and it's like a horror show. My mother's this way, and my son's this way, and my kids are that way. Then you meet them, and you're like, I don't see the problem.
I know, I get it.
They're
Anyways,
delightful.
he was, of course, very bothered by this.
By the throw up.
I turn the car around, I head home.
Yeah, of course.
He's fine on time because he always gets to school 40 minutes early. This poor kid has to sit and wait.
Because that's when carpool goes.
Yeah, it's like, we just got to do the 2 drop-offs. So he's fine on time. So I go, we're going home. So I make a big U-turn, head home. I have a power wash that I just spray everything in my car. Just shampoo. I'm cleaning it immediately.
Was it a lot?
It was a lot. I take her, I go, get naked. Get in the garage. Immediately naked. I'm fine. I didn't get it on me. Just all of it off. Just all of it off, all of it. I hose her down like an animal.
Oh, jeez.
She runs into the house. I go, brush your teeth immediately. Swish water.
Is she feeling okay at this point?
Yeah, she's great. She's like, I feel so much better. Oh, great. But now we're all just on the verge,
and your car's going to smell like it forever.
That's it. I'm selling it. I'm burning it
really
for
should.
the insurance money. Yeah, I'm just going to set it to flames. So she goes, and so now I'm like juggling, and I'm looking at her. So I go, all right, I'm looking at you. I'm not going to cancel my podcasts. You're fine. Because I was like, I got to cancel the whole day. I don't know. What is she going to shit her pants next? I don't know what's going to happen.
Isn't it funny to think that our destiny was related to some little girl throwing up somewhere in a minivan?
It's beautiful.
Like that it possibly could have changed our day, our week,
could have
our
changed everything.
podcast schedule.
Your lives, all the choices you would have made for the rest of your life.
All because you gave her the wrong vitamins.
I did. And I feel terrible.
You think it was the vitamins?
For sure.
Yeah.
It was for sure.
Why?
Because they're really strong. Anything sublingual.
You do all of those are sublingual?
Because I don't like taking a bunch of pills. I just hate it. And I won't do it.
Now,
but these I can do fast. And I'm like, great, I did my vitamins. I'm done for the day.
Now, here's something I think of. I think of you often, and I think of you most when I am in my pantry breaking out my vitamins, and they're all gummy. The zinc is a gummy.
Okay.
The multivitamin is a gummy. The B12 is a gummy. The D is a gummy. And I hear your voice going, gummies. They're filled with shit.
Yeah.
But are they really?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I mean, they are.
What?
Well, how do you think a gummy is made? What do you think? Like
In
a
a
vitamin
factory?
fairy comes along and like scoops up all the vitamins.
Well,
and
how do you
like,
think your bilinguals are made?
not bilingual, sublinguals. They don't speak French. They're literally just a powder. They are just the vitamin, the essence of the vitamin. That's why it was too much for her.
So what do you think is in the gummy?
Carabububa wax, whatever it's called, Cananuba wax. What's the stuff that's in gummy worms?
Do you really think it's that bad, honestly?
Yeah.
Why?
And by the way,
yeah.
whatever podcast you were on, that lovely host
Right.
tagged me on a post, didn't say anything, but I clicked on it. I was like, oh, what's this? And I see your face and I go, oh, something nice is going to be said about me.
Yeah, always.
The host, I'm sure a lovely person, thinks I'm a witch because we talk about this kind of stuff. So we can't talk about
Wait.
anymore.
What are you talking about?
He's like, well, Kira's your
He or
co-host.
she?
He's like, she's your co-host now, and I don't know, she's a little weird with all her, and maybe she's a witch. And you were like, yeah, she is.
Well, I only say that because that is what you call yourself.
Okay, so people of certain ethnicities can call themselves those things,
Gypsies.
right? And then you're not allowed to if you're not one. Do you understand? Do you see the difference?
No.
Yeah.
That only pertains
Yes.
to
No.
black people.
Yes. And Jews, Joe, we can make fun of ourselves.
Correct.
And you cannot.
I can make fun of Jewish people.
Absolutely not.
100%.
No, not this. Nah, there's a
No.
level. It's like a red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple kind of
I think
thermometer.
I think Jewish people, much like Irish people, Italians, Polish, are all grandfathered into the ribbing and sense of humor
at a certain level.
Yeah,
But
I think we're all at we're all at a certain point where you're allowed to make fun of each other.
again, to a certain degree, not in the orange and red zones. Yellow is even a little, ooh, you're pushing it. Anyways, witches, my people, witches.
You keep saying witches, but I think what you're self-proclaimed gypsy.
A gypsy and a sorcerer.
What podcast was this?
I don't know, but he tagged me and he didn't say anything, and it really I was like, really?
What?
Wow. Why don't you loop me in so I can defend the gypsy / witch race?
I think you're
What?
being silly.
Oh,
I think,
like a witch would be?
Like a witch would be.
Yeah, typical witch.
I think that you're so witchy. I think that you liked it, and you like being called a witch because you are filled with potions.
I am.
And bilingual vitamins and all the rest of it.
Yes. But you don't understand. It's, it's a sensitive.
We couldn't start this podcast because you were asking a stranger in the building 1,000 questions about your sorcery and banya sticks.
That's different. That's saunas and steam rooms. That's not, but anyways, I just want to be respected for being a quarter Dracula and half a witch, a witch, wizard, gypsy. That's all I'm asking. I don't think it's asking too much.
All right, but I think that we do. I think you are our resident sorcerer. What would you like to be called?
I would like that, but I want it, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
When you're out in public
Mm-hmm.
on a podcast.
Okay.
Okay, I just want the certain level of respect that a quarter Dracula commands.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you following this, Joe? Do you know how we're supposed to act?
I'm actually making notes, and I'm going to
Good.
look it up later to
Good.
determine what is acceptable and not acceptable.
Thank
Right.
you. That is the respectable way to treat my people and my ancestors that I am descended from. Anyways, this is my first coffee of the day, and it's very strong, and I'm almost a little drunk.
It's good.
It's really like going right to my brain.
When I was driving here, I was like, I think I might drink on this podcast.
Alcohol?
Yeah.
Ooh, that much stress in your life? What's happening?
No, it's actually the opposite. I've had a
Oh.
lot of stressful things I had to knock off my list,
Oh, and you did it.
and and they're all done. And coming to see you is a little bit of a celebration. And I was like, I should be bringing like pastries or something. And I was like, no, she'll probably bring some when she brings the coffee. And now there's none. I'm thinking maybe
I'm bringing
a
you
glass of wine would be
Hey,
nice.
get me David's coffee order tomorrow, and I will. I'll be the coffee fairy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
That's fantastic.
Abraham
idea.
Lincoln, make a note to reach out to David Cross's people, see if he would like coffee tomorrow.
Okay.
I asked you if you had been do extra Pelotoning, and you said, "Oh, I'll tell you on the."
I've been pretty good with the Pelotoning, and I was good on the road. I actually did it a couple of times, and yeah, I've been good. But there's new news in the fitness front. I don't know if you're aware of this. This is hot news for everybody.
Okay.
And it's going to sound encouraging, and then you're going to get suspicious, and then you're going to realize it's actually harder than you think it's going to be.
Okay.
There was a report this week from healthpeople.orgs that said one of the greatest things, one of the best exercises you can do for your cardiovascular health,
Okay.
lowering your blood pressure, is wall sits. They said this is great news for people that don't have time to Peloton or run or go to the gym or lift weights,
Okay.
but want to be healthy. Because I think it's like 15, what is it? It can't be 15 hours. Like,
15 hours?
No. Of cardiovascular, of what you're supposed to do cardiovascularly. A week.
Okay.
It's probably
That's a
like
lot.
it's probably like 3 hours a week.
Yeah. 15 minutes?
Yeah, 1 hour a day is what you hear at most.
At most.
Yeah.
So maybe
I don't know why
5 hours?
5? Maybe 5.
I think that's even high. Anyway, when you're in your hotel room, when you're cleaning up, when you're done cleaning up the throw up, you can just lean against a wall
Yeah.
and do wall sits. Timing of the wall sits, you have to do a set. You have to do this 3 times a week. And you do a wall sit for 2 minutes, rest for a minute, wall sit for 2 minutes,
2 minutes?
rest for a minute, wall sit for 2 minutes, and that's a set, and you're done for the day. And then you do that 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 minutes of cardio a week.
Yeah, this isn't even cardio. The reason that this is good. Do you remember this?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. What specific are you?
Why is it good for you? Why is it the greatest thing you can do for your cardiovascular health?
Because it lowers blood pressure.
Why?
Because when you stay in that position, it builds up tension and it does something to cause the blood vessels to expand, and that's good.
Okay, so I do know this. Whenever you contract your muscles and hold them, which is what you're doing when you're doing a wall sit,
Yeah.
is what I think you're talking about. It's contracting your muscles and holding them.
Yep.
Right.
And it creates actually more blood flow.
More blood flow.
Is that why yoga is good for your heart?
Yes. Holding
Mhm.
those poses.
Right.
Yeah.
So this sounds like great news. Easy peasy. Wall sits. My heart's going to be great. I did a wall sit. First part of the set for 2 minutes. I got to 45 seconds.
Yes, that's what I'm saying this whole time. 2 minutes is insane.
That's insane.
You
right?
might as well say hold your breath for 2 minutes.
Yeah. It's a lot.
That's a lot.
I don't know if we can get stronger. Joe did it on the radio show. And first 1 minute?
I think I did a little over a minute, maybe a minute 15.
Minute 15.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
It is impressive. And then he quickly went down in the next one.
Yeah, I think I went down to 45.
And
30.
then, like your daughter, he almost threw up.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to try it and I'll time you?
All right. Okay.
Let's see.
Can I lean on this wall?
Yeah, you can lean on it.
How 90-degree angle-y do I have to be?
90 degree. So this is not low enough.
Start.
I got the stopwatch going.
Right.
Go.
I'll go, Tom. I got it.
Okay.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
That's not really that low.
This is low.
You're-
I'm gonna
you're-
pee. Oh my
you're-
God, I'm going to pee.
You're going to
If you
pee.
keep talking.
10 seconds.
Oh, I think I'm done.
It's a podcast. I have to keep talking.
This is horrible.
And you're really in a comfortable spot.
No, I'm not.
20.
Can I be done?
Whenever
Get to 30. Come on,
you've got a minute
Kira.
30 to go.
I'm going to try to break Tom's 45.
Oh.
Oh my God, my spleen is shaking.
You're at
How is
30.
this-
You're
What,
at
30?
Yep.
Tell me when it's 46.
Just
wanna
go
do
for a
one.
minute. You
No.
look so strong.
No, I'm not.
You don't even look like you're sweating.
No, my gallbladder is like this. It's turning inside out.
No, look at you. You're
43,
doing great.
44, 45, 46, 47,
I did more than
48.
Tom. All right, at least I'm the champion. That is horrible.
It's so crazy. You look like
2
you look
minutes?
cool as a cucumber.
No.
2 minutes.
That literally had childhood trauma come up. That's how horrible
And
that was.
I'm very proud of you, but I think you're supposed to go lower.
All right, you know what?
Right? I am. I'm proud of you. You did better than I did, but you also cheated.
No.
I think you got to be down.
No,
Your
I
legs
was
are supposed
fine.
to go straight out.
No, they're not straight out. What are you talking
They're
about?
supposed to go straight out.
And then just defy gravity?
No, like your butt was here and it should be here.
It's not a real wall.
It has nothing to do with what wall you're leaning against. It could have wallpaper. It could be paint.
Yeah, that is hard on your...
It's hard.
But the quads, when you work the quads,
Yeah.
it's like you're working your entire body somehow. I don't know how they've calculated that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the Peloton is. It's all your
quads.
legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not that. It's not contracting it.
I'm going to have nightmares.
I thought I would be much better at it because I've been cycling for 3-4 years.
Can I tell you what I'm doing now?
Yes.
I'm taking Krav Maga.
This is the woman, by the way, who said, "Don't call me a witch or a sorcerer."
What's wrong with Krav Maga?
Well, let's just recap where we are in the podcast so far.
Okay.
Feeding your daughter
Sublingual.
sublinguals.
Yes.
And then and now you're doing Krav Maga.
Krav
and I'm
Maga.
just saying you're not the kind of gal. It's just like, hey, I went to the club and I watched Taylor Swift in the Kansas City.
I'm taking it because we're doing it as a family.
Okay.
So my 8-year-old's taking the kids class, but my 13-year-old and I are doing it together.
Now this is the Israeli martial arts.
Yes, it's basically Israeli. They don't call it a martial art.
They don't.
It's not category. It's street fighting.
Now
It's
we're
Israeli
talking.
street fighting.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Holy cow!
There's a comic that's really into
Mike
it.
Burton.
Mike Burton.
He teaches. He's probably at like the most Krav level
Yeah.
of Krav Maga.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
He was Krav Maga before it was Krav.
Years,
Yeah.
20 plus years. But it's just hilarious. It's a community class.
Oh.
And so it's every age.
Cool.
And there's like 70-year-olds.
How many people?
Probably like 30.
Wow.
But when I tell you my thighs the next day
Yeah.
were useless. I was like, if I only had a brain, like I was like the scarecrow. I couldn't walk.
How did you do in the class?
From this little community Krav Maga class that's like so sweet and nice. And
I
it's-
never heard Krav Maga called sweet and nice.
It is a sweet and nice class. It's at my synagogue. It's like a little, little room off the side of the synagogue. And it's just like these local, people. And it's all just the community get together and everyone's.
Nice.
And then the next day, couldn't walk.
What were the kind of things you were doing? Squats?
Kill you methods.
Oh, kill you methods.
I'll kill you.
Kicks and things.
I'll like literally kill you on the spot.
Give me one.
Okay, choke me.
Jeez.
Finally. It's like someone comes at you and they choke you and
Yeah.
you learn how to get
Chop the
down
arm
and
and
get
get the
their
thing.
elbow and get them in the esophagus and then nuts.
Does it seem like you learned something?
Yes.
Even from one
That's
or
what
two
I'm
classes?
saying. And I love it.
You do.
But you cannot walk the next day.
Well, you're just starting out.
I know, but my God.
Is this a long way to say why you couldn't go
This
down
is why I
lower?
couldn't go down lower. God.
Are you going to keep it up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you kill Abraham Lincoln right now?
Oh my God. I could blink and come on.
How funny.
Why
How
was so
funny
mean to-
was the picture I sent you?
Where was that?
We missed you. You wouldn't accept this gig, but
Listen.
we had a gig. We had a little tour in Florida.
I know.
We went Fort Myers, Fort Lauderdale, Key West.
It's all right. I
We-
get it.
We wanted you to be on it, and you said no.
Well, I didn't say no.
Yes, you did. You said, "I'm not coming."
I said, oops. My son is debuting
Oh.
as a vulture in The Wizard of Oz.
Which, if
He-
anyone is a fan of The Wizard of Oz, there are no vultures.
There are in the kids. He was flying. He was flying up in the air.
Again, it was monkeys.
And the monkeys fly and the vultures fly. This whole production was just witches flying,
That's fun.
Dorothy's flying when she's in the tornado. And I was horribly upset about it.
Yeah.
I really wanted to
it
go.
would have
And
been a
now
fun
I have a feeling I'm never going back on the road with you again.
one. We have to look at some dates. You also said no to another one.
No,
Yes, you did. Because I'm going to
Oh,
Kalispell, Montana.
in March.
In March.
Yeah, I'm booked that whole week of March. I'm in Florida.
I love how It goes from no to, oh, well, yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. So
what
that's
else?
5 dates
Okay.
that you've said no to.
All right.
So I'm doing my best
Okay.
to try and
So
get you to
Factor
work.
is a sponsor today.
We started out our little Florida tour, and you were missed. And we went first meal. We all get to Fort Myers. Stephen Rogers took your place, and Abraham Lincoln was doing the tour managing and merch on the trip. And let's go get something to eat because we've got time before the show. And we went to a barbecue place, which is a very cool place. It's a chain, and if anyone seems like, yeah, Tom, duh, that's been a thing forever. But do you remember what it was called?
Mission Barbecue?
Mission Barbecue.
Mm.
Run by vets, for vets.
Oh.
They do a lot of, it's really a cool, very cool spot. I don't know how they work it, if like part of the money goes to helping vet groups, but it's definitely honoring the troops. All the decor is like that. And this barbecue is amazing.
Wow.
And 4 ounce had about an espresso cup size of mac and cheese. And I had to send you the picture. Then once again, we're on the road, and he has a sample size of mac and cheese. And then what you didn't see in the picture was he wrapped it up to go.
No.
Because he couldn't finish it.
No. Joey.
Yeah. Completely embarrassing. I'm willing to admit. I will add though that I took a red eye in that night, so I ate something else like an hour before that. Needed to eat. Hadn't in 12 plus hours, so that was like, oh, and I should get a little extra thing. Pretty embarrassing that I could not complete a $3 mac and cheese,
It was
but
like something you would have given
Like
your
a
child.
Costco, like a Costco sample
A
when
sampler.
you're
when you're
walking around
with
and
your
they're
car,
like, "Do you want to try our mac and cheese?"
and then he takes a bite and says, "Can I have a box?"
Oh my God.
So funny.
Well, God bless
So,
you.
like if I had eaten before, and then my pals were like, "We're going to barbecue," my problem wouldn't be how do I eat this? It would be how do I just not eat all of it? Like how do I
Right.
not have 2 gigantic meals?
Right.
Like it's not a problem about getting it in. It's about I really shouldn't get it in.
Sure. Yeah.
I should stop myself.
You didn't get any meat?
I'm-
You're at a barbecue place?
No.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. Get meat at the barbecue place. Who wants that? Ugh.
it was
Gross.
also the mac itself was a little too heavy for what I was going for. But
Yeah,
it was,
it was
I think, the lightest thing on the menu. So
It was a little too heavy. It literally was a feather amount of mac and cheese.
Well, hey, cheap date. That's not bad.
Oh,
That's a
so
good quality.
Funny. He really can't eat on the road. But then he scrambles out late at night and goes on McDonald's runs.
Did you in Florida?
no, I ate the mac that night.
I told him he wasn't allowed to go out for McDonald's because it was, Florida has those sections where it's like just cars. It's just giant intersections,
Yeah.
strip malls, like that
Yeah.
part of it. And we, even in an automobile, took us 20 minutes to get to the other side of it. You had to go and make U-turns, and I'm
Yeah.
like, and I forbade him.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't die in Fort Myers.
No.
He'd be scampering across to go to Taco Bell and meow. And they just scrape you off and keep going in Florida. Did you finish the mac and cheese that night?
I did, yeah. I went back, finished it. That was
Good boy.
It was good. My roommate actually on the subject yesterday asked me the question, so what do you do to stay so lean? Which like shocked me. I was like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just never been I'm normally asked, what's your problem or something,
What's your
I'm trying not to evaporate.
Yeah.
So, what's your medical diagnosis that doctors have given you?
Of why you have no stomach.
Yeah. What kind of tapeworm do you have? I know.
It's so hard for me to think of it because I don't get full.
Ever?
I stop eating because it's socially inappropriate.
It's embarrassing?
Yeah, because it's like, yeah,
Oh.
I really don't get full. Like I don't think there's
Yes, you do.
very few times when Like I'll get full and be like, yeah, I think I'm good. But if you said you had to keep eating that, I would go, okay, and just keep eating it.
I think that's there's like a condition where it's like people that don't feel pain.
Right?
Do you know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Someone beat me over the head with a bat and I was fine.
I could keep eating 100%.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what I had for breakfast?
Please.
A steak.
Oh,
I had a steak.
really?
Yeah, it was incredible.
How did you make it?
Just because it was a little chilly outside, I didn't go to the grill.
Yeah.
Just on the cast iron.
Just psh,
Yeah,
psh, psh, psh.
done.
House filled with steak smoke.
We have an amazing thing in our house. Did I ever tell you about this?
No.
It's upstairs. You open it up, these vents,
Yeah.
and it's an entire house filter.
Really?
Yes.
What
All you
do you
got to
mean?
do is
Wait.
open the windows.
Not over.
It'll filter everything out
Where is it?
upstairs.
Upstairs, second
Yeah.
floor.
Yep. Right
And-
above the staircase.
Like in the hallway.
Yeah. In the hallway.
And you press a button downstairs.
I had to go upstairs. You got to turn it on.
Uh-huh.
And then you open some windows because what it does.
Is it like an attic fan?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, but it's not in the attic.
That's what we had growing up was an attic fan.
It pulls
Instead of
all
air
the smoke
conditioning.
out. Pulls all the smoke out.
Really?
You can use it as air conditioning too, but not when it's hot outside because it pulls air from the open
In.
windows in.
Oh, the
So-
attic fan is the opposite.
Oh. Yeah, so I turn that on when I cook anything in the cast iron and
Oh.
all the smoke just
So if I come to your house,
Yep.
could I smoke a cigar in there?
Yeah.
And it would just go out?
What do you mean go out?
This
Yes.
smoke.
Well, yes.
Like people don't like Cynthia won't let me smoke a cigar in the house.
In the house, yeah.
Because it's gonna make the house smell.
Yeah.
But in your house it wouldn't smell?
I mean, I think if we opened up the windows and you stood right there.
Really?
Smoke, yes.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
How big a steak?
16 ounces.
Wow.
But I probably won't eat for the rest of the day.
Really?
I am so stuffed.
You
I'm
won't eat tonight?
Probably not.
Wow.
I got Krav Maga and then a set at the Laugh Factory.
You doing the Laugh Factory?
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a while.
It's great. I just did a show on Monday, packed, sold out, not one seat open.
Really?
Fantastic. When that room is
Wow.
packed, just that
I
upstairs is like
know.
right there. Like even though they're upstairs, it's like a Coliseum feeling, where they're like on top of you.
When's the last time you saw Jamie Masada, the owner of
I saw him on Monday.
He was there?
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in years.
I know. Yeah.
He's coming
He's
back out?
Yeah. For,
Ah.
certain special occasions.
I should tell them I'll only come when Jamie's there.
Then I'm sure Jamie would show up. For
I
you,
loved going there on
Yeah.
the weekends, and then Dom Irera would be on the show as well, and we would open up a nice bottle of red wine, and I don't know if Jamie, when we'd hang out with Jamie.
Yeah.
That was always nice.
Yeah. Dom is still doing stand up.
Amazing.
I know.
Amazing.
Yeah. I see him all the time.
Really?
Comedy Magic and Laugh Factory.
Really?
Yep. And improv. I saw him at the improv too.
Jeez.
I know. It's wild.
I know, because he's kind of shaky and
Yeah. Yeah.
still funny.
Funny. And now he has to capture the audience in a different way because
Mhm.
also he's a little bit quieter on stage.
Right?
And he still kills, destroys. That's what is so incredible about
It's-
his writing.
It's the same thing with Keith Robinson in New
Mm.
York. He had a stroke, and he's got the remnants of that, but it doesn't matter. Like you would think, oh, how are you going to do this? How are you going to get this out? But they're funny people are just funny in their bones.
Yeah.
Their essence is so funny, and they find a way to communicate it. And Keith is funnier now than he's been at any time in his career.
Yeah.
He's that good.
Can I tell you my Keith story?
Yes.
So we were at a little
Hopefully
club.
it humiliates him.
No.
Damn.
We were it humiliates me. No, it doesn't. We were at a little club and it was just this fun little night of stand up. It's like a little cafe. And I had met him in New York
Mhm.
a year or two before, but he was out in LA writing for Wanda.
Right.
This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And
Used to go on the road with her a lot.
yeah, and so he all of
Old
a sudden
friends.
moved to LA, and I'm sure he knew some people, but
Uh-huh.
and it was like the first week of November or something.
Uh-huh.
And I wrote him a note like we were in class from my notebook paper,
Yeah.
and I said, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me. We met in New York once, but welcome to LA. I heard you moved here. Do you have a place to go for Thanksgiving?" And I
Uh-huh.
folded it and I wrote Keith on it, like in high school. And I said, "Pass this down." And he opened it and read it and looked up, and I was like, and so he's like, "Hold on," and then he wrote back, you know what I mean? "Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm good. I have a place to go." And then he folded it up and sent it back to me through all the
Nice.
different comics. And then I wrote, "I feel like you're just saying that because you think you would be imposing, and you're not. And I want to invite you to my house. I don't want you to be alone for Thanksgiving." I just
Yeah.
would not let it go.
Yeah.
And he read it and okay. He writes back, "I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm good." And I was like, and I looked at him and I took my pen and I was like, "I'm going to keep writing." He was like, "No more writing, no more notes." So he rejected me and my
Oh,
turkey.
well, as well he should.
No.
He's the best. He's so great.
So funny.
And what's cool, it's the timing of it worked out because he had his stroke, so they put a little handle to get off the stage, so he doesn't, so it's easy for him to hold on to because normally you just go up those 2 steps, but it's dark and it's thing, and everybody acts like that's for Keith, but excuse me, I think I need it more than he does.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially if you're doing those wall sits.
Yeah, I'm so happy that there's something to hold to get off the stage.
Yeah.
No, but there is that thing. I mean, the same thing with Dom. They're just funny. It really is this lesson in what it is to be a funny person.
But also, I guess Dom could, or someone like Dom in his position could probably be like, "All right, you know what? It's harder for me. I can't drive," or whatever it is. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that's his situation, but it just shows that when you do stand up and you're kind of like, "This is what I do.
Yeah.
This is who I am."
Yeah.
I mean, do you see yourself stopping?
No. It's such a funny thing to be in a position where you talk to people and they're talking about when they're going to retire and where they're going to retire, and it's it's not even something that ever enters my mind. It's no, it's not that I'm deciding whether or not to eventually retire.
Right.
I just don't have in my mind that that's
No.
one of the options.
Yeah. My husband's so ready to retire.
I was just gonna say, I wonder if our spouses would
He's
not like
so
that.
ready. He's like, "Oh God, I can't wait." And I'm like, I'm gonna need them to put a ramp, not like a little thing. I'll roll up there.
I know. Did you
Because
did
what
I ever tell you
else?
about the HBO thing on Alzheimer's?
No.
This is kind of sad,
Okay.
kind of inspiring, kind of depressing. They did a thing, and this guy was like a clown. I think he was like a kid's clown, like a party clown. He was a magician, a comedian, a clown. He was in Florida, and he would go gig. He wasn't a straight up stand up like us, but had his gigs.
Yeah.
And he would go do his thing, and he had his act. And he got Alzheimer's in his later years, and he can't really do the gigs anymore. But the machine in his comic head was every day around 3:00, 2:00, 3:00, he'd be getting ready for the gig. And he'd be saying to his wife, "Okay," and he'd be putting together the set list. "Tonight, I think I'm going to try this." And she'd be like, "Okay, Herbie, all right. Yeah, it's going to be a good one tonight. What time are we going to leave? We got to get the shows at 7, right?" And he would go through all of the
Ugh.
pre-things that you do, getting his outfit, getting his bag, getting the set list, get it all ready. He'd be like, "Okay, I'm ready for the gig. I'll be back tonight." And they'd go, "Okay." And they'd take him out to the living room and back into the bedroom and lay him down, and he'd go to sleep. And he would never do the gig because there was no gig, but he had to
Oh my
do all the
gosh.
things to feel like himself. He had to go through the ritual of getting ready for the gig.
Yeah.
It's great. It's sad. It's all the things I
It
said.
is.
Right?
So my mom was a pattern maker,
Mm-hmm.
dressmaker. She designed clothes. And when she first started to decline, she would take like pieces of material and start like organizing them.
Mm-hmm.
Like as if like she's gonna make a seam, she's
Uh-huh.
gonna make pleats.
The feel, the
Yeah.
thing.
So that
Yeah.
that rings true.
Yeah. Which is, I think, ultimately is a great thing. You are what you are. You've lost your abilities. You've lost your thing, but you worked so long and hard at that craft that it became you, that you had, it is you.
Yeah.
It is that thing. And, you don't have the faculties to do it anymore. But what a great thing that your life was dedicated to this craft. I think
But I
it's
will
pretty
say it is sometimes hard to watch our comedy gurus, walk a little slower,
Yeah.
take a little time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I remember certain people with just they were younger, so they
Yeah.
had a little spring in their step.
Yeah. We're going through a thing now where in comedy before, there are more comedians aging and still doing it and are still relevant
Right.
than ever before.
Because they would be like considered like the baby boomers of comedy.
Yeah.
Because the 80s was the boom
It was a boom.
where you had so many.
But there wasn't the business to sustain. It's different now. Like you could have like people have audiences, like all the people that were older than me that are going out and selling and doing all these shows. That structure didn't exist before. It was just comedy clubs. And then you would kind of age out of it and then it would stop, or you go onto film and go into television.
Yeah.
But the pure stand-ups, there's not a lot of people. Like if you look at like Leno and Jerry, there's not a lot of their peers out there doing it.
No.
Right?
Right.
That's going to change when we're all their age.
I see
There's
what
gonna
you're
be-
saying.
Right? There's
Yeah.
going to be a whole bunch of them
Yeah.
still doing it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a cool thing because there's a perspective that you get when you get older that is funny, that really hasn't had a voice
Mm.
in a
What's
large
it
way.
gonna be like? Is Chappelle gonna in his 60s and 70s still be doing
Yeah.
the Hollywood Bowl? Like
Right. Yeah.
right? Because are his fans gonna be in their 60s and 70s? Or that's always what's interesting to me.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because
Chappelle's different in
Yeah.
a way. Like he always attracts young people because he's always rebelling against stuff. And there's
that's right.
it's not like other comics who have their audience and they just go with them.
Matt Rife is back on the road
Uh-huh.
touring. He's sold out basically every weekend until I don't know, May.
Uh-huh.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's
Well, he was doing that before, right?
right. But I'm saying he did that special. I'm sure it has to be all new jokes, right?
Mhm.
I mean, don't you think?
Yeah, there was the big debate whether that special was going to help or hurt him.
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
what help or hurt means nowadays. I feel like everyone's like, there's a special and it's amazing and here it is and it's in the round or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
all the chairs that people sat on were Jello or something that's weird. And then I feel
Yeah.
like there's so much in the world now. You don't really hear anything about it anymore.
Yeah. I did this it's a very fragmented. It's crazy that I hosted the Pollstar Awards last night.
That's right.
It was this live. Pollstar is an organization of all like live touring industry, like everybody from agents and managers and people who do tours for music and comedy and the people that run the arenas and the theaters and the clubs, and it's all under the same umbrella of live entertainment. And they have an award show that they do every year, and they hand out for the best tour and the best comedy tour and the best lighting company, and it's kind of an industry thing, but it's show busy at the same time. And doing the gig, it was just one of those things which is just on everyone's mind and in that business. It's so crazy to me that you could have these acts that are selling arenas to those fans of that genre, country music, pop,
Yeah.
DJs. And my agent was saying he went to SoFi with his son to see Millennium. Does anyone here know Millennium?
No, I do not.
Yeah, it's like an EDM group.
Oh.
Joey does. He's a DJ, and he sold out 2 shows at SoFi, 60,000 people a pop. And just from this little sample, this is the way the world is now. Someone can be so big that they can play 60,000 seat arenas, and the rest of the culture has no idea who they are.
No, I thought it was a sublingual medication.
Yeah, they have no idea.
Have you taken a Lenium today? You know, if it's good for your bowels.
Matt Rife has his audience,
Yeah.
and he's kicking ass, and
Yeah.
he has his thing, and all these other people within comedy have never seen Matt Rife before.
No.
It's so vast. It's so gigantic.
It's wild.
It's wild.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
You host this show.
I did.
Do you write a little monologue?
It was horrible.
Okay.
I knew when I accepted it, it wasn't going to be my most fun night ever,
Sure.
because these things never are. It went exactly as I thought it was going to in my head, which was I was going to put on a suit and tie. I was going to come out and intro the show while everybody is talking,
Yeah.
and everyone is drinking, and no one's sitting in their seats. And I'm only to do 5 minutes. And at 4 minutes and 54 seconds, everyone's going to sit down and get quiet. And then I'm going to, after treading water and bombing and trying to rally people without offending them as like a substitute teacher, I'm then going to start bringing up the awards and handing out awards for the rest of the night, and with no chance to be funny, really, other than like a little comment here or there. Just got to kind of be charming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's exactly what happened.
And so you prepared a little monologue.
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. I had jokes. Yeah.
Okay. Last year I hosted an award show
Mm-hmm.
for influencers
Mhm.
around the world.
Right. Oh, I remember this. You went to Germany or something.
Cannes.
Right.
Yes. So I'm doing it again this year.
You are.
Yes.
They asked you back.
They asked me back.
Wow. This was a good gig for you.
This was a good gig.
And you looked so beautiful.
Oh.
You were fancy and con.
They make you fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They sent me to a dress guy.
Mm-hmm.
There was a hair and makeup
Yeah, I remember that.
magician. But here's why I ask. You can't really prepare, because I wrote
Right.
a monologue
Mm-hmm.
because I knew they wanted me to do some,
Inside
get everybody warmed up. I wrote it before. I want to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got there and immediately threw all of it away.
Yeah.
Because then I get there and there's a woman from China who has 100 million followers on Instagram, and her English is okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of Elon Musk's mom is there.
Uh-huh.
There's people from India, from some countries I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
And not everyone, and it's in France already.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized, what
Yeah.
if I wrote jokes like I was going to be at Flappers in Burbank?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like,
no.
I sat ferociously. I'm in this big, huge ball gown,
Uh-huh.
hair and makeup, all the stuff, jewelry. And I'm sitting there like I
Yeah.
found a little cubby area, and I just sat. I threw everything else
Uh-huh.
away. And I have a feeling I'm going to do that again.
Now,
I'm going to want to be.
after having done it,
Yes.
you'll know what to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Then when you get there,
Yeah, and there's all the stimulus of the situation, and I kind of was in the same way of like I had some jokes about, not like, I just in general terms was going to make a joke about how we're all in this beautiful theater, and all these people that run shows and do things, we're all in this beautiful theater, which is really beautiful, but it's also agonizing because no one here is making a dime tonight.
right.
You're watching the parking and knowing that you're not getting a piece of it and all that kind of stuff, which is a decent joke for that crowd.
Yeah.
And then I was going to talk about this is a great night. This is a really great night until it's not. Until they bring up your category and they give it to that asshole instead of you. And I'm going to do jokes about that. All good, all fine. Wasn't going to spend a ton of time doing it because I knew it was going to happen. I have these ideas for these jokes, and they're all talking, and they're all saying hello to their friends, and blah, 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 and no one is paying attention. And it doesn't matter what I have.
Yeah.
I could do stuff from my act. I could read off the cereal box. They're talking. So this is impossible. So you really just have to stand up there with a smile.
Right.
And just be present, and then start bringing up the awards and make a couple little jokes about the night as you're going along.
Yes. That's all.
It's really not, it's comedy adjacent.
It is.
It seems so stupid that they're flying you all the way to Cannes to stand there and be charming and just be kind of pleasant. But the reality is, very few people can do it.
Well,
Very few, like they have to
a lot
come
of people cannot.
stand up there.
And I had to improvise on the spot.
Yeah.
Which I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I had to do something that a lot of comics would have been like, oh, forget that. This is, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're paying me a ton of money.
Yeah.
But it's for a reason. I'm bringing a lot of years of experience to this.
And you have to you have to evaluate it in a different metric.
Yeah.
You can't do it like, oh, like when you're a comedian, you're like, did I kill tonight?
Right.
That's not the metric.
No.
The metric is, was everybody happy? Did we keep the thing moving?
That's right.
Is everybody
An award show is like a book, and you bound it.
Right.
So you're like the front cover, and you get all the paper together, but you just kind of hold it together, and then you're at the end going, "Good night, congratulations to everybody." And one thing I did whenever there was a good-looking guy, I was like, I keep telling him I'm married, I have kids. You know what I mean? It's not, you know what I mean? You're 30 years younger than me. Like, it's not going to work.
Right.
And I just kept doing that.
Funny.
And then everyone just loved it because that's universal.
Yeah, that's
And that's
great.
all I could do was just pretend that a 20-year-old was interested.
How long will you be there?
5 days. It's not long.
Can I come?
Yes. Sweet. I can, oh, yeah.
Are you going to have a great steak while you're there?
Oh, I had an amazing
fish
last year when I
Really?
went. It was this big. It was, I'm not exaggerating.
Wow. All by yourself in your room?
No, I went to right on the plage right there. Right where the Cannes Hotel is. Right next door, across the street. This amazing, everyone sits on the street looking out onto the ocean, onto the water. And this fish, they brought it on a plate bigger than me. And it was still a fish. And I looked at the waiter and I go, "Sir, I'm so sorry. I'm American. I can't have it looking at me with mouth agape. I just can't."
Really?
No.
I think you thought you would enjoy that.
I was forced to eat it that way as a kid. That's why I have
How much of that fish do you think Joey would have eaten?
I don't know, Joey. What do you think? Like one little half a fin?
Just the head.
The head. I'd love to see that.
Well, when you're at home, Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make eating better every day. Wherever tomorrow takes you, be ready with pre-prepared, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals. You'll have over 35 different options a week to choose from, including keto. It's going to hit everyone in this room.
Yep.
Calorie smart. It's me. Vegan. That's Joe. And people who don't eat food at all. And there's even more to enjoy for over 55 nutrition-packed add-ons to help make your weekly meal planning even more delicious. What are you waiting for? Get started today and have a feel-good week of meals ready to go. You want to know about 2-minute meals?
2-minute meals?
2-minute meals. Fuel up fast with Factor's restaurant-quality meals that are ready to heat and eat wherever you are. Snacks, smoothies, and more. Discover a wide variety of easy options for the entire day, like breakfast, midday bites, and more. Sign up and save. We've done the math. Factor is less expensive than takeout, which is outrageously expensive right now.
It's gotten through the roof crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
And I know this because my daughters do it at college, and I just see bills. And it's like, are you eating at Michelin star restaurants?
Yeah,
No,
it's like
I
30
got
bucks.
Starbucks delivered.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Starbucks delivered.
Every meal is dietitian approved to be nutritious and delicious. Factor is the perfect solution if you're looking for fast, upscale options done easily. Head to factormeals.com/Papa, PAPA50, and use code PAPA50 to get 50%
50?
off.
Yeah.
That's code PAPA50 at factormeals.com/Papa50 to get 50% off this great service right to your door. Take all of the thinking out of it, and you just get to eat stuff that you're not going to regret afterwards. I feel like when you get to go to those places like Cannes and
Yeah.
you get invited to these corporate kind of hosty kind of things, the funniest part to me is that you're alone, and it's like they put you up in a beautiful place in a suite that's bigger than your house, and your spouse is home with the kids.
I know.
Right? It's such a
And last year I told Mike, I go, maybe I'll bring you and the kids if they ask me back.
yeah.
Which they asked me back last year as I was leaving to the airport.
Wow.
They're like, we want you back next year. And I was like, all right. But then it comes around.
Yeah.
I can't pull them out of school. I
Uh-huh.
can't take my kids to the south of France when he has finals that week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the end of the school year, end of May. Mike, I can't pay for 4 plane tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go in business.
Yep.
Now I have the rest of my family. It's like all this stuff. I go, none of this makes sense.
Yeah.
And then also, now that I know, I'm sitting writing. Like when I got there,
Right. You're working.
I really
Yeah.
was. I had to go through the whole script with one of the producers. I really do have to
Yeah.
do a lot.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why a lot
And-
of comics this would freak them out, because you have to kind of put a producer hat on, which you have done a
Yeah.
million times.
Yeah.
But you have to be okay with sitting and doing
Yeah.
that kind of mundane, typing up a script and getting it on cards and all that.
I know.
I can't bring my kids.
Yeah.
I just can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. You're working. You can't hear then like, are we going to the pool?
That's right. Exactly. That's exactly it. And even on the way here, so my kid stayed home
Mm-hmm.
and I dropped her off at the mother-in-law's on the way here.
Right.
Even on the way here, she almost cock-blocked me again.
Oh.
Did a gymnastics move on the couch, jacked her head up. She's like,
Wow.
I
She's
have a
having
pertussin.
day.
She called it a pertussin. I was like, it's concussion. And then, so now I'm putting an ice pack on her head when we
Ugh.
need to get in the car so I can drive you to grandma's so I can go have strong coffee with Tom.
Don't fall asleep.
Please, like, let me check your eye. Are they dilated? Like, what's happening with your pupils? But that's what I'm saying. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I would feel terrible.
No, it's hard. And they don't understand that even your just like slight distraction is going to take away from the
There
show.
are some, right? Like you took your wife to Hawaii
Mm-hmm.
and that worked out.
Yeah.
But that's just you showing up, being a
And
comic.
it's different when you're just doing stand up. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you do these other gigs, like I have a couple that, like last night this wasn't stand up. This was, you're there to service that organization.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of comedians that will not do that or can't do that,
Or it's just in that moment that they might, and this is not a knock on them, but they might just fall apart. And that's when they start, just saying motherfucker for no reason. You know what I mean?
Turn
Like,
on
they
it.
just don't know what to do.
I know. One of the awards was the best comedy tour.
Yeah.
And some of our friends were nominated, Nate Bargatze and Bert Kreischer, and Dave Chappelle's tour won. And Chappelle came out to accept it. And so I saw him backstage, we're friends, and he came up and was like, he's in a sleeveless shirt, he's smoking a cigarette, and I'm there in my suit with my card and the
Yeah.
award. And it's like, he's like, how's this going? And I said, it's horrible.
Yeah. We already know the answer. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's great that you're going back, though.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
excited
super
for you.
excited.
Yeah.
I got my tickets.
I feel like we should do the podcast from there. I mean, it's such a food-oriented place.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we have to.
Like, what would it take for us to do it from Cannes?
Not too much.
No, not much.
Yeah,
It sounds like
just-
Kira's going to cover our tickets if we're in coach.
Right.
You probably can get bumped up because of your miles.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Joey and I bring a suitcase and some microphones and cameras inside, and we're good to go.
I mean, it's not like Joey needs to eat,
No, save
Yeah,
money
but-
on that.
right?
Yeah,
This will be exciting. 10 days.
let's do it. 5.
5
I can only do
days.
5 because I got to get back for other gigs.
Right.
Yeah,
Can't believe how you have all these gigs but won't go on the road with me. It's
I would
weird.
love to. I would love to.
I know, but you just have better gigs.
No,
This is what happens. This is what happens. It's
Listen.
the natural course. You bring some around, they open, and then they get all these other offers, and then eventually they leave the nest.
all right. I wasn't gonna say this, but you have now pushed me
Mm.
to my limit.
Let's
Okay.
hear it.
Okay. I know you might not read comments.
No.
But I do. And I'm not scared to because your fans are lovely and they all, I envision, wear sensible shoes and very cozy sweaters.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I was reading, and people message me, oh, I owe someone a message back.
Uh-huh.
I'm so sorry. There's a woman that messaged me. I'm looking at her right now. About some of my witchy stuff.
Oh,
Anyways, yeah.
interesting.
Oh, yeah, I get a lot.
Weird.
I get
Don't
a lot.
mention it, but that's what I'm known for.
Well,
Go ahead.
I'm just saying she was respectful.
Yes.
Anyways, people were like, hey, what dates do you have with Tom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I can't respond to them except for the end of this month.
Because?
At the end of this month. Because we don't have anything past February 24th and 25th.
Because
go
you've
with
turned
theater.
down all of the things.
All one March.
One show, one weekend,
All
which
right.
was 5 shows, and then
Can I tell you how many people responded? May I, before we wrap up?
yeah, please.
The dog licking your face, making out with your dog. Can I tell you how hilarious the fans are? Did you read any of these, Joe?
I did, yeah, initially, because I was excited. That's why we posted
What
it.
are we talking about?
We thought it was going to be a good one.
It was an Instagram post
Uh-huh.
about dogs.
Oh, us
That
with
we
the
did.
dogs.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Are you a dog person? Well,
Right.
are you? Would you tongue?
Were people mad
a
about
do-
it?
Hilarious.
Oh, really?
The responses. I'm just going to read you a couple. So funny that I'm literally like, we need to put these in a book. These people, some were like, you know, they were just like, oh, I love my dogs. I won't let them lick my face.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Then you said,
Yes. Yes, counselor.
your one dog, the pug maybe,
Yeah, Frank.
was tonguing
Oh, no, the other way
Bella's
around.
ass.
Bella, yeah, tongue deep in Frank's butt.
Okay, tongue deep in Frank's butt. And then someone replied, well, you know, Frank or Bella
Yeah.
can also smell where your tongue has been too, my friend.
Oh.
That just made me cry. Oh my God. People were like, totally agree. And then among the 80%, don't care. But this one, I got to find it. This is the one that killed me. I was just screaming, dying. Hold on. There was, oh God, this is so gross.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it too gross?
No, go for it.
I'm so sorry. This woman, Annie,
Mm-hmm.
said her mom was on the phone and started screaming and freaking out because the big dog was outside pooping and the pug
Was eating it?
like soft serve, like it was coming out.
Oh.
And that is a reason to never tongue your dog.
Exactly.
Never tongue your dog.
100%.
So for the people that did respond, it's sure, why not? It's my animal. It's my family member. It's my baby.
Oh, and that's
No.
what you've caught on tape. That's what, like,
Exactly.
She saw that happening.
Exactly.
Who knows what's going on when you're not there?
But boy, I got a kick out of those comments.
Oh, that's
I
so
was
funny.
dying laughing.
Well, here's a little update. Frank the pug is now secretly using the litter box. We found a dog poop in the litter box, and then the other day it was raining, and he was like, "No, I'm not going out there," and he just took off. And I was like, "Where did he go?" And then I see him with his head popping out from the litter box. He's either a genius or he's no, it's not.
It's a house?
It's not a
No,
house.
okay.
It has to be a house
Yeah.
because he's a boy. So when he pees, he's standing in the litter box, but he's peeing on the dryer.
Is it ricocheting everywhere?
Apparently, I haven't. Yeah, my wife's not that pleased. But I think it's kind of innovative. If
I
we can get
think-
one of the house ones, let him have at it.
Yeah, let him have a little house.
Yeah, it's better than peeing on all the other stuff. At least he's general terms. He's like, something's going on in here.
Did you ever hear that George Clooney bit?
No.
How he pranked his, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he pranked his roommate. Was it a roommate?
Yeah, but it was, you know who it was? It was Richard Kind.
Oh, Richard Kind.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love Richard Kind. Richard Kind was
They came up
worried that
together.
his cat was not using the rest, like constipated.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He was really concerned, and George was cat sitting, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think they
House
lived
sitting.
together.
Oh,
So
they lived together. It was
Yeah.
roommate. That's
Roommates,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like really concerned, and I'm sorry if I'm messing this story up, but anyways, there was a sense of like, hey, can you give him some medicine, right, or something? Anyways, the cat's not pooping, and Richard was very upset,
Uh-huh.
and he's out of town, and George decides to poop in the litter box. So when Richard comes back, he sees this
Giants.
monstrous human, and he's like, oh my God, Mr. Whiskers, or
It
whatever.
finally
Like,
came out.
oh my God, he lost his mind. But I will never forget
That's
that
a
story.
great one.
That is so fantastic. What a great prank. And then just pretending like you have no idea what happened. And
The biggest question is, why is that less disgusting than the soft serve?
George Clooney's cute.
Yeah, I guess it's Clooney.
He's pretty cute. He's pretty handsome.
All right, we have to go, everybody. The show is over. It's so nice catching up with you. Go to tompapa.com, look up all of the tour dates. We've got the big Netflix one, the Netflix festival one. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Who does have a gig with me?
I do.
In Los Angeles at the Ace Hotel.
May 3rd.
Part of the Netflix is a Joke festival.
Very excited.
Mm-hmm. So who loves you?
You do.
Go to tompapa.com. I'm touring all over. I'm going up. Oh, we're doing a little bread thing. The people from King Arthur Flour have invited us to stop by when we do New Hampshire on the way from Portland, Maine to New Hampshire to Boston. So in that trip, they know a big-time baker's in town, and they want me to come by. Thank you all for listening. Thank you to factormeals.com. We'll see you next time.